Josh Berry's move is official, let's talk details, and Carson Hocevar gets slapped with a hefty penalty. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Today we're talking about two rookies of very different age at very different points in their careers doing very different things. Let's begin with Carson Hocevar. Last night, NASCAR handed Hocevar a 25-point penalty and a $50,000 fine for intentionally spinning Harrison Burton out under caution during Sunday's race at Nashville. Did I call it? That's exactly what I predicted on Monday. It's the exact same penalty NASCAR handed William Byron 2 years ago at Texas when he intentionally spun Denny Hamlin out under caution. Byron got a $25,000 fine. Now, he did appeal that and got the points penalty completely rescinded. They just doubled the fine. That was a goofy call. Appeals panel just gonna appeals panel. You can never really tell what they're thinking on any given day, but Carson Hocevar and Spire Motorsports will not appeal this penalty. Overall, I think this is a fair penalty. Again, it's consistent with how they've ruled on similar deals in recent seasons, and I think 25 points and $50,000 will get Carson Hocevar's attention. Carson Hocevar is locked in a tight Rookie of the Year points battle with Josh Berry. He was 25 points behind Berry. Now he's 50 points. That's a huge chunk lost. And $50,000 is nothing to sneeze at. It's not like Carson Hocevar is a 10-year vet with long-time Fortune 500 corporate sponsors backing him. No, he's a 21-year-old rookie with a bunch of brand new sponsors this season. Like, $50,000, he's going to notice that. Something had to be done. Better a late decision midweek than no decision at all. Carson Hocevar has a reputation, an earned reputation. Lots of shenanigans in the truck series, right-rearing folks at IRP, Martinsville, intentionally spinning out to bring out a caution. The problem is that for a couple years there, Carson Hocevar got away with a lot. NASCAR never really stepped in. They sort of looked the other way. And Carson Hocevar has flown up the ranks from truck straight into cup. He's needed to learn for a while now that you can face repercussions. Overall, Carson Hocevar has minded his manners better than I expected this season, but you knew something was coming eventually. Again, his truck series reputation speaks for itself. It's well deserved. Carson Hocevar is still very young, 21 years old. Goodness gracious. Hopefully this message sinks in and he's able to keep a more level head during the next incident. I agree with NASCAR's ruling. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Now, I mentioned Josh Berry. He's racing Carson Hocevar for Rookie of the Year honors. He'll have a new home in 2025. Today, the Wood brothers confirmed that Josh Berry will be the next driver of the number 21 Ford. John Wood said that Josh Berry was the obvious choice, but then the team admitted that they did talk to Chase Briscoe first because he had a long relationship with Ford. But once that didn't work out, they pivoted quickly to Berry. So he was the obvious first choice, but he was actually the second choice. Let's just say it like it is. Not a bad plan B, though, whatsoever. Now, the team did not announce a crew chief today. John Wood said that decision would be made by Penske. Jeremy Bullins is the current crew chief of the number 21 and has been in that role for almost a year now. Bullins has been with Team Penske for over a decade, winning races with Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski, Austin Cindric. He could very well be Josh Berry's crew chief next season, but nothing was announced today, which has many fans, I think, holding out hope for Rodney Childers. Multiple reports out there now suggest Childers will not join the Wood brothers, and Rodney put this post out on X. I can't even explain how happy I am for Josh Berry. He has worked his butt off for a long time to get this opportunity. This Ford team takes great gratitude in being a part of showing the world what he can do. He's a winner and has a huge future. A huge future that Rodney Childers may or may not directly be a part of. I still lean towards Childers not teaming up with Josh Berry. Never say never, though. Danielle Trotta posted this. Josh Berry is on SiriusXM saying that the team will look internally and externally for his crew chief and are going to meet with Rodney Childers. Team Penske has a deep bench, a lot of longtime employees, crew chiefs, engineers to choose from. I imagine Berry's crew chief will come from that bunch. But I am surprised they didn't announce anything today. I genuinely am. I touched on this some yesterday, but I think Josh Berry to the Wood brothers is a good move. If Rodney Childers was attached, I might call it a great move, but it's still a good move. I showed you all this graphic yesterday. I'll throw it up again. Before Harrison Burton got there, the 21 car was consistently top 20 in points and even made the playoffs a couple of different seasons. The 21 is closely aligned with Team Penske. Again, it's Penske who will decide who the crew chief is. This car is good. It's not a great car, but it's a good car. I believe it's a top 20 car with a good driver behind the wheel. And Josh Berry is a good driver. Berry had some interesting comments recently. He comes from late models, of course, was a short track superstar. He did a one-on-one with Fox Sports reporter Bob Pockris last week and said that while he's still gaining experience on intermediates, the next gen actually races pretty similar to a late model on short tracks. Berry said, quote, "Honestly, on the short track side of things, the next gen car reminds me a lot of a late model. How you kind of hustle it around and kind of manipulate the car a little bit here or there reminds me a lot of a late model." I found that very interesting. And you look at the results this year, Josh Berry has a 7th at Iowa, a short track, 3rd recently at New Hampshire, shorter oval, 11th at Richmond earlier in the year, 12th at Bristol. I think his results this year back up what he said in that quote. So if I were to make a way too early prediction, I think next year Josh Berry will get the Wood brothers back into the top 20 in points. He'll contend for a playoff spot on points, might even have a shot at winning a race to sneak in. I'm not ready to confidently predict Berry makes the playoffs next season, but I think he'll consistently be given more competitive equipment than he has now. I like this move. I think it's a good move. It'd be a great move if Rodney Childers was attached, but Penske has some great people. I'm sure Berry will team up with someone who knows what they're doing. I look forward to seeing what Josh can do in the 21 next season. One thing I didn't touch on yesterday, and I should definitely touch on it now, is Harrison Burton. Kind of forget about Harrison Burton, but this means he's not returning to the Wood brothers next season. I guess that's not been a very well-kept secret. That's kind of been known for months at this point. We have to look back at Harrison Burton's path to the Cup Series. He only had one great year, and it was 2020 in the Xfinity Series for Joe Gibbs Racing. He had 4 wins. He had an average finish of 10th, had some highlight reel moments like beating Noah Gragson on the last lap at Texas. Burton missed out on a Championship 4 appearance, but still had a great overall season. But that was it. Before getting that opportunity in trucks with KBM, Harrison Burton went winless in a year plus. In fact, he missed the playoffs with KBM in 2019. And then in 2021 in the Xfinity Series, he also went winless. Then he got promoted to the Cup Series at the ripe age of 21. So he only ever had one good NASCAR season sandwiched between a couple of mediocre to disappointing seasons. From there, he got to the Cup Series, and it was clear from the get-go he wasn't Cup Series ready. We all said it at the time. He was a long-term project. He brought some sponsorship. Of course, he's related to the Burtons, and the Burton family, I think, is held in very high regard throughout the NASCAR garage. Harrison has a great support system around him. I understand why the Wood brothers were willing to take that risk. But by year 3, Harrison had to show something, and he just hasn't. I'm going to make an interesting comparison here. I'm going to compare Harrison Burton to Todd Gilliland. Go back to 2019, same age, both in KBM equipment, both missed the playoffs. They both then got promoted up to the Cup Series in 2022 at the age of 21. The difference then is that since 2022, Todd Gilliland's average finish has gotten noticeably better every single season, while Harrison Burton's average finish has gotten noticeably worse. Both struggled with KBM, both promoted to Cup at the same time. Similar situations, I would argue. Same age when it happened, but their trajectories the past 2.5 years have been wildly different. That's why Todd Gilliland just signed an extension with a Tier 1 Ford team, while Harrison Burton just got the boot. I hope Harrison Burton goes back to the Xfinity Series. Maybe even the Truck Series, because he's still so young. He's only 23 years old. Like, look at the Xfinity Series. Austin Hill is 30. Sheldon Creed is 26. Harrison Burton could still have a long and successful career. Harrison Burton is a Kevin Harvick Incorporated client. He's got some sponsorship, presumably from Dex Imaging. A move back down to the Xfinity or even the Truck Series would be great. More experience hopefully running up front, rebuild some of that confidence, rebuild some good habits. Just thinking out loud here, maybe one of the Haas Xfinity seats will open up to him. He can stay with Ford. Cole Custer's likely going to Cup, and shoot, Riely Herbst could too. So there's a lot of opportunity there. I think that could work. I hope Harrison Burton ends up somewhere competitive, because he showed us in 2020 that there's something there. He's not terrible. He just wasn't quite ready for prime time, and few 21-year-olds are in any major sport. I hope his confidence isn't totally shot, because I think Harrison Burton absolutely could earn a spot in the NASCAR Cup Series once again, one day. But this move here and now had to happen. 3 years in, he just hasn't shown us anything, has shown little improvement, at least on the results sheet. Where do you think Harrison Burton ends up? Where do you think it went wrong for Harrison with the Wood brothers? Let me know down in the comment section below. That's going to do it for today's episode, y'all. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more NASCAR content and commentary every single day, every week, all year long. And a big thank you to my very generous Patreon supporters. Lots of content coming your way this week. If you've missed anything, be sure to head to my channel. Check out all the recent uploads. Many more to come. Chicago this weekend is going to be a good time. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, folks. I'll talk to you again real soon.